Welcome back to another DIY Squaredrop camper build. This is part 25 and part 2, I believe, of the doors. Oh, sorry. Actually, this is part 3 of the doors. So in this video, we're going to put, as you can see here, we're going to put my windows in the doors, which is exciting stuff. And after that, we're going to do some dry fitting. We'll figure out the hinges. We'll figure out the latch. And get them on permanently. So pretty excited about that. So, you know, the one issue I was having with these windows is that the holes, well, they suck. And I called Vintage Technologies because I lost the screws that came with the doors. And he basically just told me what to get instead, which are, I think it was number 8 inch or 3/4 inch self drilling screws. So that's what I got. And I actually made a couple extra holes because some of these went through and, well, there just wasn't really in the right place. But there is a window and a screen in these windows. Excuse me, a window. There is a window that can open and close, and a screen. So this is, you know, it was perfect, and they look pretty damn good in the doors once they're all said and done. You can see here I'm using the router because I needed to trim out a little bit from my original hole that I made for these. And you can see these doors are, if you've been following the series, you've seen in previous videos where they've been epoxied and fiberglassed and then epoxied again. Sorry if you keep hearing my dog running around the house. She's got a lot of energy right now. So yeah, it took me a while to get these windows installed. Just some troubleshooting was needed. And eventually they went in and they look really good. I haven't done the water test yet to make sure that no water's leaking, but I am going to be putting some silicone around everything on the camper eventually anyway. So, you know, here's door number 2. Number 1 was good. This is the second one. Just getting, like I said, I put a couple extra holes, especially in the top part, to make sure it was good. So, in this little area, I put some fairing compound because it was not very even. My lovely job of cutting out the door frame. So I put some fairing compound in there to kind of fix that. And here I am cutting out some door jambs. Now, unfortunately, this did not go very well. Originally, I had this 1/8 inch thick plywood, and it actually looked really beautiful. I really loved the color on it and the pattern of the wood, but unfortunately it was not working. I made some cuts. I attempted to get it all installed, but it wasn't really wide enough. I didn't think it was thick enough. I felt like if somebody bumped into it trying to get out of the camper, that it would just be flimsy and break, even if I epoxied it. So, you know, this is my attempt at putting them up there, getting some rounded edges so that my weather stripping can fit nice and snugly in those corners all the way around. But yeah, in the end, I said, no, this is not going to work. This is just terrible. So I eventually scrapped that plywood piece altogether, and I got some 1/4 inch plywood, which, you know, is twice as thick. And I felt like with some epoxy on that, it would probably stand the test of time like the rest of this camper. So I essentially just framed out some pieces and made some drawings and made some cuts. And eventually, as you'll see, I came together with a really nice piece for both sides. And you'll see coming up that I put some epoxy adhesive, which I actually got the idea from the channel Wood Brew. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with that channel, but they do a lot of their own work and all kinds of stuff, but they also built a camper. So I kind of got this idea from them. You can see I'm setting it all in place right now, and I'm actually putting some staples through to hold it in place before I eventually put the epoxy adhesive in there. So yeah, I got the idea from them. He called it, I want to say he said it's like an epoxy filleting, because no matter what, water's going to get through your door, and it's just a matter of, can you manage it so where it doesn't get in the cabin. So this is essentially that. where I just put epoxy all over the inside of this door jamb and hope that the water just goes out. So as you can see, here's a little shot of what it looks like once I stapled everything in together. And this is the epoxy adhesive I was talking about. I believe this one was actually Thixo, but I ran out because 2 tubes apparently wasn't enough for 2 doors. So I had to eventually go back. I actually went to West Marine and picked up some stuff from them. And it worked out pretty well. So this is me attempting to get all of that filleting in place. So, you know, if once again, if you've been watching, you know that I'm coming up on our first trip. It's in a few weeks. And really my goal is just get everything sealed up as much as possible. Everything else can kind of wait if necessary, but I am trying to get everything done. And the next video will be likely the paint, the primer, and then the painting, which is going to be a big mural on it. It looks amazing. I cannot wait to share that. He hasn't actually come yet when I'm recording this video. By the time it's out, it will already be painted. So that'll come soon. So yeah, like I said, this is just a way of me making sure that when the water gets past the door, there's a channel for it to run through and not seep into the walls or inside the camper. And I think it's going to work really well. It was a lot of work actually getting this to try and be as smooth as possible. It was not easy, but here we are. So yeah, just finishing up this epoxy adhesive now, and we'll move on and see what's next. Oh, there's a little video of what it looks like once it's all applied. I think it's probably pretty waterproof. Those corners anyway. I obviously went over everything again with epoxy just to make that wood really hard and also waterproof. So, this is me putting the varnish on the inside of those door jambs. And this is my first attempt at putting on the weather stripping. So this is a trim lock, and it essentially has a spot where it goes over the 1/4-inch plywood, and then on the other side is a bulb, and that bulb is what the door sits onto. So I think I have a nice short little clip of what that looks like. So when the door is closed, it sits nicely on the little bulb and compresses it like that and forms a nice little seal. All right, so at this point I had actually put on the doors, and I realized, well, I need some rain gutters on the outside. And there'll actually be a problem later with the roof rack, which you actually probably saw in the last video if you watched, that I was putting the roof rack on, and I had to trim out little pieces of the of this epoxied, once I epoxied it, this rain gutter. So here I am just putting a little round over on the rain gutter so that if people bump into it, it doesn't, hurt them severely. And this is just, I want to say this is 2x1, 1x2s, I think. So I just kind of made a frame all the way around and said, oh, okay, this looks good. I like it. And I also attempted to use some hinges that Tony Latham used in his camper. But unfortunately, those hinges didn't really work for me. You can see my neighbor Brian coming over and saying hi and seeing how the progress is coming along. I've made a lot of friends, my neighbors just walking around and walking their dogs and stuff and seeing me build this thing over the last year and a half. and everyone's pretty excited to see me get it finished. So here I'm just putting some screws into the wood, and I also did wood filler and sanded it afterwards just to make it nice and flat for the epoxy. But I screwed in all 3 of the 4 pieces. The side with the hinges on it, I left that so that I could do a little cutout with the hinges, which you'll see pretty momentarily here. So, yep, here it is. I made a little template and made a little spot for the hinge to sit in. And you'll actually see why these hinges won't work here shortly when I try and screw the door into them. Or screw the door into the hinges. But yeah, they fit really nicely. I was really happy with it. I was like, oh yeah, this is great. Put some holes through the wall, which always scare me. And then I get the door, I put it on. Everything looks good. I put my spacers in to make sure it's nice and even and there's no grinding on anything. And I put some holes in, and then I open it, and you can see what happened. Oh, sad face. I put a hole, 2 holes, right through my door jamb / weather stripping. So, need to get some new hinges. Got McMaster Carr on the line, ordered some hinges, and they didn't have any holes in them, and they were wider. So I was like, perfect, I'll make my own holes and get these hinges installed, and everything is gonna be great. And spoiler alert, it actually was. It worked really well. So here's me test fitting the hinges, and you know, everything looks good. I put in some weather stripping, put it on there, put the hinges on, and decided, okay, I need to go a little deeper. So I made the hinge area on that last piece of trim, or the rain gutter, excuse me. I made that a little deeper so that the door compresses even more. And everything is all good. Very happy with how that turned out. So now I'm like, okay, I got to do it for all of them now. So I actually had my wife come out and close it, and so I put on one hinge, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna test it. Let's put these screws in, we'll see how it goes, and we'll open and close the door. And it worked, so I'm very happy with that. So I finished one door completely, and as you can see, it just opens up. There's no pressing against anything along the door jamb or anything, and it closes nice, and it's great. And it's compressed just enough so that the bulb gets compressed on the inside, and in theory it should be waterproof once I do my water test. But before I do my water test, I've got to sand over those screw holes that I have there on the ring gutters, and then do all the epoxy. So this is me doing the second door, putting in the spot for the hinges, getting it all routed out. And yeah, it was, honestly, this day was like one of the longest days because I was just frustrated with the doors and the hinge screwing up my door jamb, which I also had to epoxy and put little dowels in to seal it back up. So that was annoying. But I digress. It's still great. Everything looks good, and I'm really happy with it. So there's the hinges, putting in some holes in my doors, and you'll see what it looks like once it's done. So you also notice that some of these videos are out of order. Like in the last 2 videos, I think, you could see primer on the walls that I already painted. But, you know, in this one, it's not on yet. So I'm just kind of going out of order because I want to get as much footage as I can of everything before I put out like a door part 3 video. I wanted to get as much done with the doors as I could. There is still one last video to come with it, but it's just some quick stuff that I'm actually doing next week. So I'm actually going to be out of town for several days, so this video will come out around when I get back. So yeah, I cleaned up all the hinges, I brushed all of the nasty stuff out of it, put on some primer, get them ready for paint, installed them, as you can see here, and got some washers to kind of spread the weight around, make sure everything's good, and gonna put the doors on. There's my wife helping me. She's been an awful lot of help lately. I'm very happy. Thank you so much to my lovely wife. And as you can see, putting on the door, everything looks good. Grab the other one, do the same thing. And there we go. This is me putting on the handle. It's not, you know, super secure. Someone could break in pretty easily, but I'd much rather them, if they're going to try and get in, I'd much rather them destroy my handle than break my window, because those windows are really expensive, and making this door was not very expensive. So if someone wants to break in, they certainly can, but I'd rather them, you know, as I said, break the latch than break my window. So, and so, yeah, I'm just putting on butyl tape all around it, making sure it's nice and sealed, and putting on the handle on the back end, and here is the last bit. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for joining.